when I took the IGCSEs, I was quite stressed, but also quite excited to finally be able to finish this marathon, I would say. I was quite prepared, I think, and I was quite ready to let it all out. And after the exams had been completed, I was really relieved and happy.
At first, I was stressed because it is the first international exam that I've ever taken. But later, closer and closer to the exam, maybe in secondary 4, in January, February, that's when the pressure really came down on me as there's mocks coming up, and then eventually the real exam is coming really soon. Surprisingly, during the exam, because of the way the exams and the papers are scheduled, it became a marathon. So instead of a sprint, we have to keep working, keep studying for the entirety of, I believe, 4 to 5 months. So it was really tiring. There are weeks that we only have 1 to 2 papers, but we cannot slack because those are important papers.
Throughout S3 and S4, my teachers were there by making sure that I understood all the concepts that were being taught in class. And whenever I needed assistance from them, even if it was like outside of school hours, such as being at home or like Saturdays and Sundays, whenever I sent an email, they would always respond and try to explain things as clearly as they could. And when I didn't understand something, they would make sure that I really understood by really like taking time and like doing it in steps to show me how I'm supposed to understand a concept.
The teachers will always teach you some techniques for answering, especially for the English essays or for history and stuff. If you listen in class or you ask your teachers, they'll have some strategy for you, and there's some points that you always want to write, and if you write them, you'll probably get good marks.
The teachers were very supportive of us, and even though we were in study break, they always opened their schedules to us for us to consult them for any questions that we may face during studying, or when we wanted to submit extra work for them to mark and see if it was okay. They were also very happy to help us.
The IGCSE exam is extremely repetitive when it comes to question types. So one of the best ways to prepare is just to constantly do past papers, because after a while you'll observe that they like to repeat questions a lot, and their question structure as well as question types don't change too often unless there's a full syllabus shift. So just doing practices and doing questions is very helpful in terms of preparing for the examination.
I think it's really important to just make your own notes, because at first I felt quite overwhelmed with all the resources we had. Like, we had our teachers' PowerPoint slides, we had textbooks, we had online notes. Some of us had like notes from seniors as well. So I think it was really helpful to just look at how different people or different textbooks, different resources explained the same concept, and sort of taking inspiration from which sort of explanation you found the most helpful. So I think like the process of note-taking was very helpful for me to sort of consolidate my knowledge. And secondly, I think it would be referring to the syllabus, because IGCSE has a very good benefit in that it provides very detailed syllabuses. And I think finally, it's definitely doing past papers. Doing past papers, identifying patterns and what sort of questions they like to ask, what sort of words or answers they're looking for in the mark schemes. And yeah, just looking for patterns in the sort of questions and answers they're looking for.